What I like to do is I like to obviously get the filter out of the filter housing for a start. I usually give it a bit of a wipe down, just get all the crap off it. But what I want to do is I want to have a good look in these pleats, because that's where all the shit's going to hide. You know, like flakes of metal and chunks of dirt and all sorts of stuff. And what you don't want to see is an engine that's making glitter. Right. I always check in here.
Love?
Yes, love.
Do you want a sugar?
Yeah, just one, thanks. So I always give a good look in here, look for any reflections. I can't see anything. And I generally get the oil tested as well. And the reason I would get it tested is because when I first got the car, and I didn't notice it on the test drive, so this is on me, I could hear this clack, 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 clack sound on startup, and it would eventually disappear on warm-up, but it's always there, which tells me that there's an excessive clearance somewhere. And it sounds like it's coming from the top of the engine on the right-hand side. And I was really worried that it was a bearing or something like that. These engines are either really good or they're absolute buckets of shit. There's sort of no in between. And when they fail catastrophically. They normally spin a bearing or throw a leg out of bed or just seize in such a catastrophic fashion. And the only way to rectify that is to change the whole engine. And it's about $22,000 for a crate engine. It's got to come out from underneath. And I don't have the gear to do that, and I don't have the money to do it. So I just really get paranoid about the engine and about what's going on inside there. So I test it, and it costs $75, and it's just cheap insurance. The same as doing an intermediate oil change. 20,000 Ks is a long time for a small diesel engine, especially if you're doing around town kilometres to go between oil changes. So my commute to and from work is about 65 Ks each way. It's 110 each way. Engine sits at about 1800 RPM at that speed. And I still change my oil every 10 to 15,000 if I can. And that's me doing it myself. If you are paying somebody to do the services for you every 20, I would highly recommend doing an intermediate change yourself at every 10. That's my advice. I'm not a licensed mechanic. I'm a ex-marine technician from the Navy. We did our oil changes based on engine hours or engine oil quality. If the oil quality said to change the oil, we changed it. If the engine hours said to change the oil, we changed it, whichever came first. So to go based on distance driven is sort of a bit counterproductive. So you need to sort of think about, you know, in terms of how much work the engine's done. When you're driving around town, it's up and down the revs, changing gears a lot. Generally, if it's your partner driving it, or maybe if it's yourself driving it, they might start it up straight into drive and put load on the engine without letting it have a bit of a warm-up first. So, yeah, 10,000 K oil changes won't hurt it. In fact, it's cheap insurance. So whenever I get my new filter, or the old filter, I get the old one and I get the new one, I just make sure I'm happy with it. Castellations, there's another one. If you didn't see the video I did the other day, or if I didn't put it on there, there's two types of filters that will go in these engines. Now, this engine is specifically the VM Motori 3 litre. There was two types of engine that came in this car. The early models had a Mercedes 3 litre V6 with a Mercedes 5-speed transmission. This is a VM Motori 3 litre V6, and it's got a copy of a, I'm not sure what the brand is, but it's an 8-speed transmission. It's made under license by Chrysler. It's not actually like, it's like ZF or something like that, or whatever. Anyway, it's really fucking good. I like it a lot. And then in this engine, there was two types of oil filters. There was the 27337, yeah, the R2737P, which has got a short castellation on the top here, and then there's R2736P, which has got this larger castellation. This is the one you want for the later model facelift 2736. Right? So, oil filter housing, needs to be cleaned out. Get all the old shit out of there, give it a good wipe down. There's an O-ring on here that needs to come off. Doesn't have to be spotless, just needs a good wipe out. And the O-ring's got to come off. Now, if you don't have a O-ring pick like that, you can just use a small flat bladed screwdriver. Just be careful, flat blade, they can be sharp on the corners. This is plastic, you don't want to scratch it. So you're just going to go behind the O-ring, lift it up a little bit, screwdriver to the top, O-ring off. Bim. That's still dripping oil, so I'm going to put that in there. I can tell you now, gloves, godsend. Let's give the O-ring groove a little bit of a wipe out. New O-ring, new oil filter, take 2. Bit of fresh oil on the fingers, just all around the O-ring, just lube it up a little bit. It doesn't have to be soaking. You just don't want it to be dry. You want it moist. Moist. Anyway, bit of lubey lube on there. And to be honest with you, you just kind of roll it down. It's kind of like putting on that last bit of the condom. Into the O-ring groove. You can see that. That's ready to go. Cancellation end goes in there like that, and click. That's ready for reinstall.